Hi everyone, welcome to Mastering Maize and Blue. This is the Counseling and Psychological Services podcast. I am Megan Hadley and my co-host is Yara Elayyan. I'm Megan Hadley. My major is criminal justice. I'm involved in the Criminal Justice Club, club tennis, and my favorite movie is Harry Potter. Oh, Yara, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Hi everyone, I'm Yara Elayyan. My major is mechanical engineering. I'm involved in Fresh Start, UNICEF, Arab Student Union, and my favorite movie is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. All right, so here we have our guests joining us, Amanda and Chandler. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Saleh. My pronouns are she, hers. I am a fourth year student at Dearborn, a psychology and philosophy major, and I am a mental health and wellness peer mentor. And I am joined today with Chandler Gimson. He is my coworker and friend. So go ahead, Chandler.
Hi everyone, this is Chandler. I'm super excited for this. My major is psychology. I'm a mental health and wellness peer mentor.
Okay, our first question today is, what are the services offered at the Counseling and Psychological Services?
So CAPS offers a variety of mental health services. One thing is individual therapy. So that's your basic one-on-one with a therapist. Usually meetings are once a week, and each session is planned the week before to tailor to your schedule, like in the best way possible. And then we have group therapy, which is also once a week. I believe groups are around 10 students or so it's a small-ish group. We also have couples therapy, so if you're in a relationship and you want to seek therapy, we have services for that. We also have case management. Case management is basically CAPS, assisting students to connect them with services that they may need outside of the university. So whether that be referrals to community mental health providers, referrals for medical care and psychiatrists, and assistance in making a plan of action to meet students' needs that they may be struggling with. And then we have the Mental Health and Wellness Peer Mentor Program. We'll be talking about this a little bit throughout our presentation, but really quick, that's trained students like myself and Chandler who co-facilitate support groups and lead mental health events on campus. So if you're not really comfortable going to a therapist, we have students who can meet with you in a group setting to kind of talk about whatever it is that you're going through. So a question.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So a question that we get asked a lot is, are there like limited sessions for CAPS? And the good thing is that there are no limited sessions. This is more of a new policy, so we're really excited about it. It's about a year or so old. We used to have like a 12-session cap, I believe. So you're allowed to attend as many sessions as you need throughout the year. And we are located on the second floor of the University Center in room 2157.
So the next question we have for our guests is, what is the process for receiving services?
So currently all of CAP sessions are being held virtually due to the coronavirus pandemic. And it's on track for that to also be the same way in fall, regardless if we are fully on campus or fully remote. So currently, if you want to sign up, you just need to email UM-Dearborn caps at umich.edu and say that you want to receive counseling services. Just really something to be mindful is that email is not confidential whatsoever. The university has the ability to see that. So like I personally would recommend just saying I would like to receive counseling services in the email. That way, like there's nothing personal that could potentially be seen by eyes that you wish to not be seen. CAPS will then send you instructions on how to fill out this form. It's super, super easy, and it does require a secure connection through a VPN, but they send you instructions on how to send that up. I've done it. It's super easy. I think it took like 5 minutes to set it up in total. And the reason why we send out this, or CAP sends out this form, is to get an understanding of what services would be best for you, why you're seeking out services, but they also use it to match you with a counselor. That's what makes like the best experience between client and clinician. Some things that are like asked on that are going to be about like your general mood, anxiety, your current health habits, as well as just some demographic information. So like race, ethnicity, gender identification, sexuality, stuff that falls under that kind of umbrella.
Our next question is, what is the process for receiving services?
Wait, what?
Sorry, our next question is, what is the process for receiving services?
Okay, so the process would be just like we just explained, going through signing up. The form also accesses, that what I was talking about, also accesses whether or not if you're in crisis. So that's like a good way of seeing how immediate care you need. And our counseling center is like a really great resources. But if you're like in immediate crisis, the best thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna call the university's crisis line, and that's 1-855-275-1715. Again, that number is 1-855-275-1715. Or you can call the National Crisis Line at 1-800-273-TALK. Those numbers are 8255. After you have like those forms filled out, you'll be sent up the link for your first appointment, where you'll meet your new clinician.
The next question we have is, will anyone know if I sign up for services? Is there a cost?
So no, counseling is, so CAPS follows confidentially guidelines like a doctor's office. So no one will know if you sign up for CAPS, not even your parents. So no one will know unless you tell them specifically. And CAPS is completely free, so you do not, which is awesome.
Like, let's sort of a way I like to look at it being quote unquote free is you're already paying for it in your tuition. So like, if you're already paying for it, why not use it, kind of thing. Even if you might not be experiencing depression, anxiety, or something going on, still good to like check in with someone, be like, hey, this is what's going on. Anything I could do better?
Who provides the services at CAPS?
So CAPS is staffed by 100% licensed psychologists and clinical social workers. And they provide those therapy services. CAPS as a whole breaks into teams to provide different outreach programs. And then we have the peer mentors who are, we're trained, but we're in no way, shape, or form licensed clinicians. But we do have like the training to provide emotional support. A good amount of us are also trained in first aid, mental health first aid, and then suicide prevention and intervention.
Do you want to talk more about the Wellness Collaborative?
Yeah, I can do that. So the Wellness Collaborative is made up of staff and students who provide their input and service to improving mental health on our campus. We have different committees within this collaborative, and more specifically within our JED program that allows us to make the much needed changes on our campus. So what is JED? JED is a nonprofit organization that we're currently partnered with. I believe we're entering our 4th year with them. And they provide feedback on what mental health services, programs, policies that we should improve on and or like best implement to best support our students. So for example, the Mental Health and Wellness Peer Mentor program is a result of the feedback that our school received from the JED program. We also currently have a YouTube channel with staff members running different workshops. So you can just search up UM-Dearborn Wellness Collaborative on YouTube and check out the videos. Another thing that we do is send out weekly emails about the 9 dimensions of wellness. such as emotional wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, and so on. These emails are called Wellness Wednesday emails. Each week we talk about a different dimension and discuss ways that you can improve within that dimension.
What is the Mental Health and Wellness Peer Mentor Program?
All right, so this is like one of my favorite things that I've sort of just seen develop throughout on campus. The Mental Health and Wellness Peer Mentor Program, our mission is to provide support and education to UM-Dearborn students on mental health and wellness. Mental health, unfortunately, is something that we so seldom talk about, and we go about accomplishing this by providing support groups for students and engaging in programs and different workshops so that we can, reduce that stigma, but also provide education. A lot of fear and like stigma comes out of not having education, but when you're able to understand like what mental health is, that opens up the door to be able to discuss it. It's kind of scary to talk about something you don't know about, right? So currently we have 10 peer mentors, and we are all trained to co-facilitate the peer education groups that we run. Typically the support groups run weekly in the winter semester. We're hoping that we can change that up a little bit, provide some stuff in the fall. And those groups are super like relaxed and chill, and they're whatever our group participants want them to be. Sometimes we will talk about like what's going on at home, or better study habits, or even better eating habits. Super easy to sign up with us too. Amanda, did you want to talk about the sign up process?
Oh yeah. So I think one way that you can sign up is online on the CAPS website, which I believe will be put up when the fall begins.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also a sign up process like at our events. So we have like mental health events usually. So some of the stuff that we've done is like an eating disorder screening or like a depression screening. We've done like a healthy relationships event. So we also have like sign up sheets there that you can put your interest down, and then we'll connect you eventually. But if you want to talk more about the specific process, go ahead, Chandler.
That's basically it. It's a super easy form. One of us, you'll get matched sort of with like your schedule, with two of us, and then one of the co-facilitators for that group will send you out an email asking you just some sort of basic information, sort of why'd you signed up for group, what your goals are, what you really hope to take away from group, and then like if there's any accommodations, and then we also make sure we ask your pronouns so we can be respectful of how you wish to be addressed. One big thing with support groups, so before we move on to the next question, is we can do our best to bring you privacy, but unfortunately we can't bring that same confidentiality that CAPS has because it is in a group setting. We as co-facilitators no way would go and talk about that information, but there are other folks in the group that we don't have the ability to control their behavior in that aspect. But we always do make sure we have that discussion at the beginning of each session so that everyone's on the same page with that we are going to respect each other's privacies in here and not go and talk about what happens in group.
Yeah, and we usually don't tell our boss anything either, unless there's like, so unless you're a danger to yourself or other people, we won't
there's
like
a safety risk.
report anything. Yeah.
So where can anyone get involved?
Right. So since the peer mentor program is basically like a job, and like students can't really just become like a peer mentor, it's a process and you have to get hired and all that stuff. Of course, students can come to our events and our group, but I know like students like to find a community to kind of be with, even like outside of group. So we have a couple different like student organizations around mental health. Something that I'm currently a part of is Active Minds. We were founded in fall 2016, and we work to educate students on mental health, break the mental health stigma through advocacy and awareness, and spread positivity on campus. So just like an idea of like the different projects that we've done. One project that we've done is called Post Secret You. This was last year, I believe. And we had different like submission boxes around campus with like postcards, and students would anonymously write their secret and just slip it into that box. And then at the end of like 2 weeks, we collect all the postcards and then put them up on a bulletin board to show students that they're not alone. And of course, like nobody knows like which secret is yours because they're anonymous. So we do events like that. We've also like co-sponsored with the student government. I don't know if Chandler wants to talk a little about that, but he led an amazing 3-day or like a weekly event with student government. We kind of collaborated. We've also done a mental health first aid training. You get certified for 3 years, and it was free as well. So go ahead, Chandler.
Yes. So when I was in student government, I think it was like last year, we held a huge, and I say huge because like this was one of the bigger events that came out of student government about suicide prevention. We dubbed it the Prevent event. It was 3 days where we had a day of awareness, where folks would come in, collect buttons, post on their Instagram story, day of education, and then a day of an experience where we had somebody come in and discuss like their own personal experience with suicide. It was a very powerful presenter, and it was just a really rewarding event to see on campus. And you can go through and do more stuff like that through student government. I'm currently not involved. I know some folks that are involved in student government, and I can direct you on your way into there. However, I am finishing up a term in NAMI as president, and we're sort of reworking some stuff out with the organization. However, NAMI is National Alliance on Mental Illness, and it's a little bit different from Active Minds. NAMI focuses more on like mental illness and creating that awareness and reducing that stigma on mental illness specifically, not necessarily mental health. Two sort of different cherries from the same basket.
Amanda and Chandler, would you like to elaborate on your personal experiences on campus?
For sure. So for like the slide, I really just wanted to kind of like mention my experience with like signing up for CAPS, because I know how scary it can be. So like for me personally, like when I first signed up, I was my appointment was scheduled within the first like couple of weeks, so it wasn't a long wait. And like when I first went, so like when I went the next week, I was actually like a week early. And it was kind of relieving to me because I was kind of scared to get therapy. I knew that I needed it for like a long time, and it was overwhelming for me. So like I had like one more week to kind of like process the fact that I was getting therapy. But like when I came again the following week, it was honestly like one of the best experiences ever. I probably talked more in that session than I ever talked in my whole life. So it went a lot smoother than I thought it would go. We kind of just talked about like what I was personally going through, why I was there, and we were trying to decide like what we wanted to work on during our time together. So and if once we're like in person too, if you want someone to like go with you to sign up for CAPS, I'm more than down to do that with any student that needs to.
And for me, it was super easy. I thankfully my health insurance provides me counseling and like completely free mental health services. But there was a point where I didn't have health insurance, and I was like, I really need to be continuing therapy right now. And I literally just walked straight up, said hi to Bernie. She like her smile will brighten your day. She is the nicest person ever. Like she's up at the front desk for CAPS. Say, hey, Bernie, I want to sign up for some services. She was like, all right, put me in the room so that I could fill out the paperwork that we discussed earlier. And then literally, I think it was 3 or 4 days for me. It was a really quick wait before they sent me my sign up for my first meeting.
So are there any fun facts you guys share?
Something that I usually tell like when
I know
have
Mitt
to.
Romney's nephew.
Oh. God.
That's like the most interesting thing I know a politician's nephew.
Something that I usually share when I have to tell a fun fact about me is that I am a triplet.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are a triplet.
Yeah, one of my sisters is joining me at Dearborn this upcoming fall, so that's cool, I guess. We'll be in the same house taking online classes. But yeah. What
I
about
guess
you
another
guys?
cool thing about me is I can put my foot behind my head.
Now you have to show us.
I don't will it show up in in the recording?
It probably won't show actually, but I mean for us. Wow.
I don't know if you guys can see or not.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Very
It gets
cool.
harder with every year that I grow.
A fun fact about myself. Can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, I guess both Megan and I play tennis, so I have.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Actually, no, we had an orientation leader that played tennis too, but I met Megan actually a couple years ago.
Yeah, we both play tennis.
Here we are. How about you, Megan? Any fun facts other than that?
My favorite color is purple.
That is a good color.
Yeah.
I also got
Right?
these really cool masks that have like a see-through part for your
Yeah.
face. These
Confused
are
Oh,
really
that's
fun.
so cool.
No one
I
can see
like
us.
it.
One's covering completely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda and Chandler, for being our guests today. It was very informal.
Yeah, it was
Of
much
course.
of a conversation. I hope everyone, got the information that they needed from you guys. I definitely learned a lot about CAPS that I did not know, so thank you guys for that.
For sure.
Thank you for having us.
Jinx.
And if you want to continue watching more podcasts, you can click on the link provided right here to learn more about the school and the campus and other resources.